Hello stamping friends, this is Angie here with Too Cool Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I am here every week, usually on Thursday, but today on Friday. Thanks for following me to my rescheduled live class. But every Thursday, typically at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we do a live class right here on my Too Cool Stamping Facebook page. If you missed the live broadcast, you can always catch the replay here, and you can also catch it on my Too Cool Stamping YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe to that so you don't miss an episode. So thanks again for joining me here on Friday. Typically it's on Thursday, so I appreciate you following me to this day, and sorry if it was an inconvenience for anyone. Sometimes you just have to reschedule things. So I want to start out by telling you what we're going to be featuring today. We're going to be talking about the In Good Taste suite of products, and it's a fabulous suite. I love it. Very versatile, and I just know you're going to really love the products and the projects that we're doing today. Before we get to that though, I wanted to remind you that we're getting close to the end of June, and that means we're getting close to the end of our June promotions. And there's some fantastic promotions going on right now. If you haven't heard, then you'll want to listen up. And if you have been thinking about the $99 starter kit promotion, you're starting to run out of time. There's only 5 days left. It lasts until June 30th of 2020, and it is really an unbelievable deal. It's $99 for the starter kit. You receive $125 worth of products of your choice, free shipping on that. That's the typical deal, which is already amazing. But in June, through June 30th only, you can pick a free bundle. Any bundle that you want from the catalog. Some of them are $50 or $60, so it's a tremendous value. And on top of that, you'll be a part of my Too Cool team, and you'll be able to enjoy a 20% off discount on all of your orders. Now, I wanted to really mention this, and I want you to listen, because if you think that this is not for you, maybe you think, oh, I don't want to sell, I don't want to do parties, she's not talking to me. I am talking to you. If you love stamping, if you have a wish list that is really big from the new catalog, if you're a new stamper and you're trying to get your collection built up with ink pads and stamp sets that you like and cardstock and basics, this starter kit is for you. I am talking to you. I know so many people who have enjoyed this discount that they get with a starter kit, enjoyed being part of my team. I probably have at least 85 to 90% of my team members are hobbyists that are really happy discount shoppers. They just are purchasing from themselves. You don't have to sell. You don't have to do workshops. You can simply enjoy the discount. So if you have any hesitations, if you are concerned in any way, please contact me. I would love to chat with you about the starter kit. It really is a phenomenal deal for anybody who loves stamping. Don't miss it. Only 5 days left, and I really encourage you to try it out. And the bundle that we're talking about today, the Tasteful Touches bundle, this would be a perfect one to get for your free choice. So make sure that you are considering that. Ask me. You can message me on my toocoolstamping.com website. I have a link there to email me, or if you would just want to message me here on Facebook, that's great too. And I'll follow up and we'll chat about it. I don't want you to miss this opportunity. It doesn't come around very often where they have this kind of promotion with the starter kit. Okay, the other thing going on in June is if you have a great big order that you're wanting to put in, number one, I would choose the starter kit. That's the best deal. But if you really don't want to do that and you have a $250 order, you're going to earn $25 extra in Stampin' Rewards. So as you can be your own hostess and just put in your own order, or if you have some friends and you want to put together a virtual workshop, catalog workshop type of an order, you can do that too, and the host will get $25 in additional Stampin' Rewards. You're already going to get $25 in Stampin' Reward dollars for a $250 purchase anyway, but in June they're going to double that, so you'll get that $25 in additional. So that is another another great deal. I mean, they really have pulled out all the stops with this catalog release and the awesome promotion that we have going on. Hey, I wanted to mention too, for those of you who are thinking about the starter kit, one thing that you are really gonna like if you love Stampin' Up! Is you become part of the Too Cool team, so you get to have access to all the demonstrator perks, including right now we can see the next catalog, the August to December mini catalog. That's kind of a mouthful, but essentially what's replaced the holiday catalog is currently out online. You can see what new products are coming. So that just came out this week for demonstrators' eyes only. And as part of the Too Cool team, when you purchase that starter kit, you'll be able to see what is coming. And I am telling you, there's some really fantastic things coming for Christmas. I am so very excited. So, and we'll be able to start ordering from that catalog. Demonstrators will be starting in July already. So just a week away, and we'll be able to start pre-ordering some of those new products. So just a little fun thing that you'll be able to take advantage of if you get that starter kit. Just wanted to mention that. Okay, let's get on with our projects for today. Like I mentioned, we are looking at the In Good Taste Suite and the Tasteful Touches bundle and some beautiful, beautiful designer series paper that I want to show you right now. So let's turn the camera around. Hold on, close your eyes if you get a little seasick. I'll tell you when to open. Okay, let me tighten up my camera here, and I want to show you this paper and the awesome, make sure my camera isn't gonna sneak down. Okay, so here is what we're going to be focusing on, the Tasteful Touches stamp set. And this bundle, this is a beautiful stamp set, and I love how all the images and sentiments layer so lovely. But this is my favorite. This is what I like to call an instant classic. This is the Tasteful Labels dies, and they have so many cool shapes of die cuts that you can use for layering, for sentiments, just really cool accents. And this, to me, is worth the price of the bundle, but you'll get the bundle free if you get the starter kit. Don't forget that. So yeah, this is what I love. This is an instant classic to me, and I hope it sticks around a long time because that's a lot of really cool shapes. We'll be using several of those today on our projects. And then also in the suite, there's the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder, and I've used this quite a lot already. It's kind of hard to see what the texture is. I'll show you. We are using it on one of the projects, so you'll be able to see that, but I've used it in several projects already. This is just another one of those classic textures that are so versatile. And then the paper, you guys, this paper pack is so awesome and special. So here's what I love about it. It is real photography of patterns and textures and all kinds of different neutral backgrounds that you can use. And they are great for not only cards, but 3D projects. For scrapbooking, they'd be fantastic. So let me show you what some of these are. That you have tile. I don't know how well that's gonna show up, but you have pictures of stone and ceramic tile. You have a lot of different woods, different wood grains, and they're actual photography. So some different bricks here, stonework, some tweed, even some paint. This looks like acrylic paint or paint that's like on the side of a barn even. Some more wood grain. This is kind of a ceramic look. More wood grain. Some more stacked stone or brick. This is just kind of a marble-y piece. This looks like carpet, like almost like a Berber carpet. Another wood grain. This is another almost like a fabric that you might see on a couch. In a petal pink, really pretty. This is another almost like a backsplash or something on a kitchen or a bath. Some paint again. Some more wood slats. I mean, are you noticing that it just keeps going on and on? This is paint, more ceramic, more fabric, like a couch fabric, another style of wood grain, another style of ceramic, another style of tweed. It goes on and on. Do you know how many are in here? This is what makes it so fabulous, is that there are actually 24 sheets in here. There are 12 different double-sided sheets. And so you're going to get, I'm sorry, that's wrong. There's 24 double-sided sheets. There's 48 sheets. It's like a double pack of designer series paper, and it's $21, so it's a little bit less than if you were to buy 2 packs of paper. But you're gonna get 24 double-sided sheets in these beautiful neutral colors, and that gives you 48 different designs. You guys, this is a fantastic, fantastic pack of paper. I love it. Okay, so I wanted to show you all those things. This suite is just, it's one of my favorites for sure because it's so versatile, and I love the neutral palette. I love all the textures. It makes layering just so much fun. Okay, sorry, I just keep going on and on and on about it. I apologize. All right, let's get on with the projects. That's what you guys want to see, right? So let's start out, and I do want to mention I'm going to have a class kit available for this class. We'll have 6 cards available. You'll be able to get that class kit for free when you place a $35 order using the host code that you see here. And you can just go to toocoolstamping.com and click on the Shop Now link, and that will take you to the ordering page. So, and I'll show you all the different cards that are going to be in the kit at the end of this video. We're going to start out with a piece of the Rococo Rose cardstock, not designer series paper. So this is one of last year's in colors, and this is going to be our card base. Then I'm going to have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to start out with the leafy pattern from the Tasteful Touches stamp set, and we're going to stamp with some crumb cake. And I'm just going to make those go up here, and then I'm going to turn it over and make those go down there. Next, we're going to have a piece of that In Good Taste designer series paper. This is one of those, it's almost like a fabric from a couch, and it has kind of a petal pink look to it. And I'm going to attach that across the top here. I'm using my new snail adhesive. I love this stuff, you guys. It's so very sticky. It's not going to come up in my humid climate around here in Indiana. It's very, very sticky. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. I think I can just go ahead and put that on here. And I wanted to let you know, when you're using this seal, I've had some people that have had some problems with it advancing, and I did too a little bit. And if you do, you can just kind of advance it with your finger. But I found that if you hold it more upright, then it seems to not have that problem. So there's our background. Now I'm going to stamp the beautiful flower that comes in this set. And we're going to start with Petal Pink. And we're just going to stamp a couple of these flowers on some Whisper White. And I'm going to need to clean that off. I have my Simply Chamois here real close because I'm going to have to use that quite a lot today. All right, the next color is Rococo Rose. And we'll stamp that right next to. And I'm going to go ahead and clean this off because I'll be using it for the next project. All right. Then the only thing that is a little bit, I wouldn't say frustrating really, but a little disappointing, is that I love these labels. They don't have the flower as a die cut, and I really think they probably should have. But fortunately for us, this flower is really easy to cut out. So it's a little bit disappointing that we have to do it on our own, but we don't have to do much fussy cutting anymore because Stampin' Up! Really helps us out an awful lot with die cutting. So No whining from me. I can handle this easy flower. And let me give you a tip about cutting out the flowers. You can actually, if you just keep your blades kind of still and then move the paper, I call it kind of driving the paper around. So you're going to keep your blades just in one direction instead of, as you're cutting, going around, and the paper moves instead of the scissors. So that is, I found that to be an easier way. You can kind of see how I'm doing it right here. So I'm pretty much keeping the scissors just pointed in one direction and moving the paper, driving it, I call it, around the piece. So there is our flower. And then I already pre-cut one of the Rococo Rose, and I totally forgot, I don't know if it'll still do it. Right when you first stamp, I like to use a blender pen and just kind of, I think it's a little too dry now, but right when you first stamp, you have a little bit of wetness with the ink, and you can use a blender pen to kind of smear that ink around. Let me show you, you can see this one a little bit better. Hopefully you can see the difference. This one, I used a blender pen right after I stamped it. Can you see the difference? Let me see if it'll, I don't know if you can see the difference. It's very, very subtle, but it just puts a little bit of color. You can really see it with this, the Rococo Rose. Can you see how this one, I used a blender pen and just kind of smeared that ink around a little bit right after I stamped, where it's still just a little bit wet. You can just smear that around and it fills that in with just a hint of color as opposed to the white. So those are the two I'm going to use. Actually, I meant to show you that, but once it's dry, it's not as easy. You can always go back to your ink pad if you want and use the blender pen, squeeze this together, and it creates a little palette, and you can pick up the ink with your blender pen, but it's going to be a lot darker, so be careful with that. And then you can just color that onto it if you want it to have a little bit more of a shade and it's already wet or already dry. Okay, so we have these two cute little flowers. We're going to add those with some snail. Not snail, seal. I'll get it right. New things. And we'll put this one down here. And then we're going to add a sentiment. And I've already die cut with one of the pretty Tasteful Labels dies. And I'm going to use crumb cake with one of the Tasteful Touches sentiments. You are so special. And then we'll just pop that up with some dimensionals. My pile of dimensional backings over there, and I'm just going to put that right over the top here. And then let's finish it off with a little bit of braided trim, and I've already made a little bow. I think I'm just going to kind of pull these ends apart a little bit, fray them a little bit, and we'll add that with a glue dot. So I'm just going to stick that on the glue dot. And then just going to add that right over here on the edge. Give it a little something extra. It kind of matches that crumb cake. Let's finish it off with a little bit of sparkle. You know I like to add some sparkle. And I found that one of my favorite things to do is to just take a regular basic rhinestone and add a little bit of color with whatever Stampin' Blend marker is going to match. So I'm just going to add, I'm using Flirty Flamingo because I've found that I liked what that color ended up looking like with this. It kind of has more of a Petal Pink look. When I use my Petal Pink dark, it's still a little bit too light. You really need to use a dark color of blend to make that work. So I liked Flirty Flamingo. And then I'm just gonna add these cute little pink rhinestones to give it a little bit of sparkle. So there is our first card. And of course I did a too cool version. My second card I did with a Misty Moonlight card base. I used a different pattern, kind of a tweed pattern from the In Good Taste paper. My flowers are Balmy Blue, I believe, and Misty Moonlight. I did the same crumb cake, but I stamped it stamped it 2 times down there. Same braided trim, just put it in a different area, kind of had different positioning on the flowers. And then I used the Misty Moonlight Dark Stampin' Blends marker to add that sparkle. I love how those turned out. I think the images and the layering look really great. So that's our first 2 cards, and both of these will be included in your card kit. All right, for our next card, we're gonna start with Pool Party. And this time, I wanna do a little bit of stamping to begin with. And so I'm gonna use Pool Party, and I'm gonna use these cute little squares. I love this as a little texture added to the background. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of texture over here, maybe some over here, and that's about enough. Just a little hint of texture. Then I have a Misty Moonlight piece here. This is a 4 1/4 by 3 1/2, and I use that Tasteful Textile 3D folder so you can kind of get an idea. And it looks really great on both sides, just about the same look on both sides. And the snail adhesive, I know in the past, a lot of times I would say you need to use tear and tape to make sure that a textured piece is gonna stick well on your card. The seal is phenomenal. It actually works so well, you don't have to worry about it coming off of your card. So no need to use the tear and tape. The seal will work just fine. It looks like I made that just a smidgen too long. I'm gonna cut that off. I like to be nice and flush, right? Sorry, a little OCD there. Some of you might not care. Some of you might care a lot, just like me. Okay, here's our background. Next, I have another piece here of the In Good Taste paper. I love this light wood grain color because you can use it for layering. You can also stamp on it. So I'm gonna use these same leaves that we did on the previous card. And I'm gonna stamp again with the crumb cake. So a couple of these. I love how you can just stamp right on the paper. It's a whole different look with that real photography look, real photography paper. All right, next we're gonna layer that. And this is, I believe, it was 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. And then we're just gonna layer that on some crumb cake. 2 7/8 by 4 5/8. So this is gonna go on this card this way. Before we do that, let's add some of this beautiful Pool Party sheer ribbon. This is really, really lightweight, easy to tie, and just gives a hint of texture and a hint of color to your project. So I'm just gonna tie that in a double knot. And we'll trim the ends off. All right. Put that clear over to the edge there. And then I'm gonna add that again with some more seal. And the other thing I love about this seal, it's so quiet. The other snail, it usually came out of the dispenser pretty good, but it was kind of had, you know, a little bit of a sound to it. So the seal is so quiet, you can secretly adhere things. All right, next we're gonna add our sentiment. So I have another one of the Tasteful Labels dies here. And we're gonna add a few more of those cute little squares. This time I'm gonna stamp off so they're a little bit lighter and just add a few, just like that. Sorry, I feel like my camera it's not staying in place. I apologize. It's like going down a little bit. I apologize for that. Try to get it back on there. All right. Okay, let's finish with the sentiment, and we're gonna stamp that in Misty Moonlight. And this one says, just saying hello. That's really pretty. I like how that looks. We're gonna pop that up with some dimensionals. And we're gonna add a few rhinestones to this one as well. I just really love how the blue and that neutral color in the background really looks so awesome together. It almost kind of reminds me of Florida or something, like the beach and the water. Okay, next we're going to add just a few more rhinestones. So this time I'm going to use my soft suede. I liked the way that looks. Crumb cake was a little bit too light, but soft suede gives a very similar look to crumb cake, and it sticks a little bit better. It colors a little bit better on the rhinestone. So I'm going to add a few of those. Whoops. All right. There you go. What do you think of that? I'm loving those colors. So we also have the Too Cool version of that, and that is this one. This one starts with a Petal Pink card base. We used a different texture for the background, but I did that in Petal Pink as well. The textured piece is Poppy Parade, and I moved that over to the edge, so now it's just all on one side instead of over here. It's kind of a strip down the middle. So the background, I use a different pattern of, instead of the wood grain, I use kind of the fabric. And then I'd use the Petal Pink striped organdy ribbon. So that's a really nice, soft, but also subtle. You can see through it nicely, but it gives a little shimmer. And then on this label, it's Petal Pink and then Poppy Parade stamped over it, and those same soft suede rhinestones. So those are our two of that style. And we're gonna have this one in our card kit. Okay, next up, we're gonna go a little bit elegant. And if you have been on my Too Cool Stamping blog this week, you will have seen a very similar card that was created by Lee Conray. And it starts with the black. I'm gonna do mine in a little bit different color. I'll show you hers in a minute. But we're going to use those pretty leaves that we've been using. I'm gonna clean them up, and we're gonna use them with black this time and make a really elegant background. All right, so we're gonna use Memento Black, and we're just gonna randomly stamp. Just gonna kind of turn it every time. And when I randomly stamp, I like to kind of start on a diagonal and then pull out from there. That way you're not gonna have a lot of blank spaces if you start at the center and then kind of work outward from there. So we'll just keep adding until we have it all filled up. All right, that looks pretty good. Then we're gonna add that. And this is, let's see, this is a 3 5/8 by 4 7/8, I believe. And we're gonna add that to some Magenta Madness. It's really gonna pop. All right, just a hint. The Magenta Madness layer is 3 3/4 by 5. All right. So, and we're going to go ahead and, we're going to go ahead and just add that to the background too. I love how smoothly that seal lays down on the paper. I'm really, really impressed by that new adhesive. All right, next we're going to have a different label from the Tasteful Labels. So now we're going to use this one. And I'm going to stamp in the Memento Black, and I'm going to use the longer sentiment. Right across there. And then we're going to take another die cut that's from the same shape. We're going to cut that in half and use that to really make this sentiment layer pop. So I'll add just a little bit of seal along the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to position these so just a little bit is showing on the top and a little bit is showing on the bottom. But it really kind of makes it pop. Now you might have some rough edges here. That's no big deal. You're just going to use your paper snips and kind of clean those up a little bit. But then you have a nice piece here that really pops on that background. Okay, let's pop that up with some dimensionals. And then I'm going to use that flower from the stamp set as a little accent. I've already got that stamped and cut out. It's with the Magenta Madness. So we'll add a couple of these, maybe a little bit of seal at the bottom where it's going to overlap. Okay, see, sometimes with this little tiny area like this, you'll need to advance it because it doesn't catch, but it works really well. Okay, whoops, take the backing off. That's not going to stick. All right, and then we're just going to add that to the top here. And then we'll finish off again with some pretty rhinestones. This time we're going to use that same Magenta Madness. You guys don't forget to get the blends. When you're getting the in colors, you got to get the blends too, because they're just so lovely, and you're going to use them for so many things, even just coloring rhinestones. So we're going to go kind of rhinestone crazy on this one and do 5 different rhinestones. Really add some bling to it. I love the elegant look of the black, and the magenta really pops. All right. How fancy. So there's our Magenta Madness version. Now let me show you the one that inspired this card. And this one was created by Lee Conray, and she used Mango Melody was her color with that, and then she used the basic black Stampin' Blends on the rhinestones. She also used the different label, so you can see her label's a little bit smaller. She used the smaller sentiment, but she still did that same kind of matte with the same shape of the label, just cut in half. So I love hers as well. It was a good inspiring card for me. So this one will be in your card kit. All right, one more today. And this one is going to start with gray granite for the card base. And I will have all of the measurements and all the different supplies listed later today on my Facebook post and also my YouTube description as well. So you'll be able to know exactly what you'll need to order in order to finish these cards if you get the card kit or if you just do them on your own. So this time I'm using another strip of the In Good Taste Designer Series paper. And we'll add that right down the side here. All right, next, I was trying to find ways to use every single image from this stamp set, and I hadn't yet used the feather, so I got that one out for the last card. And we're gonna do several feathers here. We're gonna start with Pool Party right in the center. And we're gonna need that chamois because we're gonna make this feather go in a lot of different colors. So there's the first one. Next, we're gonna have gray granite. Ink that up. And we want that to be really close. And we'll stamp off the excess ink, give a little squeeze over here, squish, squish on this chamois. Next, we want Balmy Blue. And we'll squeeze that right in here on the edge. Squish, squish, clean that up. You guys, the chamois makes things so fast to clean. Really, really recommend it. All right, next, a couple more colors here. We're gonna add Sahara Sand, and we'll go in this direction. Just a little bit different. And one more. This one is going to be the Misty Moonlight. Add that right to the edge. Ooh, I love that little pop of blue. Okay, so there's our feathers. We're gonna add that to a Misty Moonlight layer. And this is 4 1/4, the white was 4 1/4 by 2 1/2, and then the Misty Moonlight is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. All right, before we add that, I just want to give it a little bit of texture by adding some linen thread around it. So I'm just going to tie just one little wrap around here, give it a little bit of neutral texture. Layers and texture, that's what all of these cards are about, and this whole suite is about layers and texture. All right, we're gonna add that to our card, and this time we're gonna pop it up a little bit just to be different. It's kind of it's almost like a background layer, but we're still gonna pop it up. I am loving these blues and neutrals, as you can tell. I use a lot of those. So this is gonna go right across there, and we'll finish up with another sentiment. We're gonna use that long sentiment that we used for just the previous card, so I need to get the black ink off of that. And this time we're going to stamp in, if I can find it, gray granite. I have so many different colors of ink pads over here. It's getting a little confusing. All right, so we'll add the good things in life are better with you. We're gonna finish that up with a little fishtail. We're gonna go up the center and then corner to center, center, corner to center. And then we'll add a little pop to that with some dimensionals. Whoops. And of course this time we're going to use another rhinestone, and this time we're going to add that with some Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to add, whoops, I got one of my hairs on there, sorry. I'm going to color one of those large rhinestones. And we'll add that. I'm just going to add that right next to that banner. So that is our feather card. This is like almost a masculine looking card. I love the colors of that for a male card. And then I did a Too Cool version, and this time I used similar elements, but I used the flower and some different colors here. So again, I started with the gray granite. I'd used a different pattern. I used some tile, ceramic tile looking texture for the background. I stamped that really pretty flower in Mango Melody, Flirty Flamingo, and Petal Pink. It's the same size as the original. I just did it in a different direction, basically. I put it on Flirty Flamingo background. I tied some linen thread around it. And then this time I used another one of the labels from our Tasteful Labels collection. So here's another one. And I used up the last sentiment that I hadn't yet used from our stamp set. So those are the final two cards. And in your kit, you will have the pieces for this particular card involved. If you want to, you can still make that into a feather card. You just will have some different pieces to work with. So kind of fun that it's versatile that way. Okay, everybody, I'm so glad that you joined me. Let me put all the cards here together. Again, what you're going to get in your class kit. So you have your pink one there. You have your magenta. You have your Just Saying Hello. Oh, maybe I did two of those. Now hold on a minute. I didn't count. I think we're doing both of these. Sorry, I forgot. Oh, not two of those. I'm getting confused. Here we go. Now we're talking. All right, so there's our class. You are getting the one for the feather as well. So you get both of those kinds, both of these kinds, and then one of these two styles. So you get all the parts and pieces all pre-cut, ready to go. You just add the ink, the stamp set obviously, and any adhesives that you might need. I really encourage you to get that $99 starter kit, and that will give you a free bundle. I do want to mention that I am not allowed to give an incentive for the $99 starter kit, but my team can purchase these card kits if they, so if you get the starter kit, you'd be part of my team and you can purchase just the card kits. So you can still have access to the kit, but I'm not allowed to give anything for free for a starter kit. That's just against Stampin' Up! Policy. But if you would like the card kit and you don't want to take advantage of that starter kit offer right now, all you need to do is place a $35 order at my2coolstamping.com. Click on the Shop Now link, and don't forget to use that host code. That's important. That lets me know that you would like to get the card parts for this class for free. Another thing to note, if you are going to have a $150 order or more, please do not, that's a not, use the host code. If you have a $150 order or more, you're going to earn Stampin Rewards dollars on that order. And if you use the host code, you don't have access to those dollars. So don't use the host code. Take advantage of the Stampin Rewards dollars if you have a $150 order, and I'll automatically send you the free kit. So no worries about that. You won't miss out. All right, hopefully that's not too confusing. I hope you guys really enjoyed the In Good Taste suite today, the Tasteful Touches bundle, and all the beautiful In Good Taste paper. I really had a lot of fun with this. I think this this bundle, I hope it stays around for a while, because it, like I said, the labels themselves are instant classic, and I know you're gonna like that Designer Series paper double pack as well. All right, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I hope you really enjoy this class. I look forward to making one up for you and sending it out. Oh, let me tell you, you have until next Tuesday. It's kind of a shortened since we started late on Friday today. You have until next Tuesday, June 30th, to place that $35 order to qualify for the free class kit. And then when you do, I will have that sent out next Friday, and you will get that in the mail, and you'll be able to make the cards along with me. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, for taking time out of your busy day to get creative with me, and I look forward to joining you again next Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and we'll have another fun live class, and I know you're going to have fun with that one too. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.